I'm like ito yung na-discuss namin, which is this is just a ano lang shallow part nung natutunan from all of those previous na mga trainings na nakuha ko. So, how to scale your high-level career without the burnout. Shift from hustle mode to growth mode. So, if I may ask, if okay lang ba? Pwede bang magtanong dyan? Siyempre, walang choice. Is it okay to ask? Wait lang. Kasi nasira yung ano ko, nasira yung second monitor ko pag uwi ko. I'm not sure, yung kapatid ko siguro nag-ano, pero wala nang. So, okay lang yan. So, wait lang. Gagamitin ko yung phone ko para makita yung chat. Alright? Join. Wait lang. Alright. Schedule. Ito. Cancel. Okay. Ayun. Thank you, chat. Sa, sa link. Yan. Yun lang. Okay. Few minutes, guys. Para, ano, nasira kasi kanina yung monitor ko. Second monitor. Connecting.
Recording in progress.
Nag-echo. Ayan. So, para makita natin yung mga chat. Okay. So, muted. Tap you on mute. Ayan. Alright. Ayan, okay lang daw. Sabi nila Philip tsaka ni Ma'am Rose. So, what's your reason why you started freelancing? Can you type down sa chat natin so we can make it more interactive? What's your reason? Most of you guys, bakit kayo nag-shift before, ano yung work ninyo, and then why you shift into freelancing? Ano yung mga triggers, ano yung naging breakthrough ninyo na, eto coach, ayan, she started freelancing because I want to spend more time with my family. Freelancing, financial freedom and better future of my family. Ayoko po mag-corpo coach hustle kasi need travel also introvert ang person. Freedom and flexibility to work at the comfort of my home para makauwi ng Pinas, time with the family. Ayan si Chris. One-time freedom, pagod na mag-drive from Cavite to Makati. Convenience, work-life balance, more time with family, time freedom. Talaga, syempre, salary, alipin ng salapi. Flexibility, full-time mom din, to start earning while studying. To experience the dollar era. Prefer work from home, salapi. Ayan. So there's a lot of benefits na nakukuha natin and yan, push myself to my full potential. And there's a lot of opportunities dito sa freelancing world. Even for me, hindi na ako nag-corpo, never ever had a 9 to 5 job. But yun nga, do you also agree? Do you agree na with all of these goals and all of these things na nangyari sa atin or when we shift to freelancing, it's not easy, di ba? Hindi siya madali. Hindi siya parang one time and then yun, nakuha mo na lahat ng mga hinangad mo when you started. So, yun nga, the reasons mostly is time freedom. I want to have time with my family. Gusto ko nasa bahay lang, work from home, financial peace. Mas okay yung mga income, yung salary. So, those are the things na most of us wanted, di ba? Those of the things na gusto nating makuha when we started our freelancing career. But there are a lot of posts na nakikita natin online na people are also suffering somehow sa ginawa nilang mga bagay sa freelancing. Like, ngayon, do you still feel aligned with that reason? Do you still feel aligned nung una ninyong reason sa freelancing? Yung expectation ninyo and what's happening right now, do you think still aligned sa freelancing? Financial peace, ayan. In terms of time, medyo na disalign ay si Marian. Let's be honest, guys, I know, as much as we want to have all of the opportunities na nakukuha natin sa freelancing, we don't want it to be romanticized in a way na, uy, good things lang lahat, uy, magandang bagay lang lahat. We also need to be honest to ourselves na meron din tayong mga bagay na kailangan natin i-improve. And this is the reasons why we're having our call tonight. Eto, si Carl, kulang sa tulog, coach, always grind. Ayan. Sabi ni Madam RF, nakapag-work kahit di si Ma'am Che. Daming setbacks. Meron ding struggles pero push lang. Currently, yes na yes, aligned ko. Burnout. Underpaid. Ayun. Minumulto ng automation. Course hoarding. Ano pa yung tingin nyo nagiging misaligned yung first na goal natin to our goal today? Laging loner ako, coach. Ayun. Another ano din yan, sobrang gandang um, we can like create around like a solution or certain uh, things na we can do kapag ganyan. Di ko alam, coach, kung tama ba tong tinatahak ko. Ayun. Na-sacrifice ko health ko, coach, including my mental health. Yun, sobrang bigat. Sobrang bigat ng ganyan. Naging digital na rin ako. Sometimes questioning myself if para ba sa akin yung freelancing. Kasi dahil sa mga self-doubt, undecided kung anong linya. Right? So, as much as we all know the benefits nung nag-freelancing tayo, there's also setbacks nangyayari. And especially, itong part na to. Sinong nafe-feel to? Okay, listen guys ah. You didn't leave a 9 to 5 job to create a 24/7. Di ba? Our goal, coach, gusto kong umalis sa corpo, 9 to 5, nakakapagod, not a, hindi siya for me. But, what happened right now? Gising ka buong working ka with multiple clients 24/7. So, nakaalis ka sa 9 to 5, nagkaroon ka ng 24/7. Kahit tulog ka, minumulto ka ng mga task mo. Kahit tulog ka, merong mga messages na kailangan mong replyan kaagad. So, the question is, what happened? What happened? Vampire, right? Napapanaginipan mo yung task mo. So, that's the reality na nangyayari sa atin right now, especially for those na chasing the six-digit goal. Now, I'm not saying it's the right or wrong thing because we all have our own goals, we all have our own plans sa buhay natin. But what I'm saying is, yung mga bagay na supposed to be, kaya nating baguhin, like the mindset, our ways, all of those things, pwede nating mabago yon from this discussion. Right? So yun yung gagawin natin and para and overwhelming, super isolated. Agree. So gumawa tayo, umalis tayo sa working job, gumawa tayo ng sarili nating na sarili nating 24/7 na job. Ayan, one work. Yan, happy birthday kay Ma'am Cheryl. Holy Spirit. Ayan. So, yun nga. You're not growing, you're just getting busier. Hindi ka nag-grow as a freelancer, nas nagiging busy ka. Sinasabi, Coach, marami akong na-experience ganun. Pero, at the end of the day, yung na-earn, yung mga experience na nakukuha mo, it not worth it if you're sick, if hindi mo na-enjoy. If you are sacrificing yourself, if you're sacrificing your mental health para sa mga goal na to. So, Coach, does it mean na wag naming i-chase yung goal namin na ganitong financial goal and we just stick with ano yung mga nakukuha naming kaya lang namin gawin? I would say no because yun nga, part of growth yung pag-chase ng bigger milestone. But ang kailangan din natin i-improve is our ways, is how we operate, di ba? So yun nga, one one key points na nilagay natin dito is you want a 10K per month. Sino ba dito gusto? Six digit. Yan yung goal namin, coach. When we started freelancing, marami kaming nakikitang mga nagka 10 like 100K per month yung ano nila, yung income nila when they started freelancing from call center, from working sa corporate, nag-shift. Sino dito, mga nakitang 10K per month yung income tas na-hook sila and then gusto din nilang matry yung freelancing. Sino dito? Yung mga coach, gusto kong mag-upskill kasi VA ako ngayon pero hindi ko pa nahihit yung 10K. Gusto kong mahit yan. So, I want to upskill, I want to know more skills para makapag-charge na ako ng mga premium. Do you feel that way? Do you feel that way ba? Na meron akong gusto ko yung anong coach and si April. Si ayan si Cherry, si Kath. Ayun si Yes. Improve my skills and consistency ng clients. Ayun, magandang gusto ko. Sino na ba dito nakahit na? Totohanan guys, wala namang BIR, wala namang tax dito. Sino dito yung nakahit na? Sino dito kahit one time? Ayun si Florence, ayun si Carl, ayun, for sure. Si Carl, si Angie, si Christine, ayun no. Good job guys, happy for you guys. Ayun si Cha. I can neither confirm nor deny the allegations without the company owner's approval. Ayun no. Ingat po taga BIR yan. Walang BIR dito. Walang magsusumbong. Pero especially sa GHL na industry, it's easy. Especially sa go high level na industry, sa go high level space, it's easy to get the six-digit mark. Yung milestone na yan, madali siyang abutin. Pero the idea is, with all of those income na nakukuha mo, there's still burnout na nangyayari. There's still disalignment na nangyayari. So you want the 10K per month, pero the consistency is not there. You want the 10K or even more. Hindi lang natin ilimit yung sarili natin sa 100K. You want the 500K, you want the 7 digit, 1M. But yun nga, you are operating on a lower mindset. Which means, for example, kung 10K is the goal, you're operating on a 10K mindset. Now, we will work on this 10K mindset para consistent yung pasok ng income without the burnout, without the more and more work, without the super grind hustle na nalilimitahan na yung freedom mo, yung time mo with your family, with yourself, with your friends. So, we will shift all of those things na we thought okay lang siya hanggang sa naubos ka na, hanggang sa, yun nga, katulad, for example, for me, na-hospital na, nagkaroon na ng sakit na uh, hindi mo naman siya na-feel before, and then right now nangyayari siya. So, overbook, underpaid, burnout, no system, no structure, no boundaries. Like, even our clients are sending us messages even when we're asleep. Sinasabi na, okay na ba tong task na to? Okay na ba tong ano yung report mo for today? So, very hassle siya. You are micromanage, walang boundaries. Yun nga, nahihit mo yung 10K, but ano yung kapalit? Are you still happy? Are the goals that you set way before when you started freelancing, the time freedom, the time with your family, time with your kids, na, meron pa din bang ganon ngayon? Or we're more focused with the grind, we're more focused with what's coming into our wallet na hindi na natin namamalayan yung nangyayari sa paligid natin. So, are you doing freelancing for a freedom or you're just doing it for survival na lang? Right? So, yan nga. Just a quick backstory um why I think this is also fit for us na when I started, yun nga, most of you guys all know na hindi pa naman ako ganun katagal sa freelancing. Way back 2021, I was third year college and started my freelancing kasi pandemic, walang kita. My parents are street vendors, so close talaga. Like my mom is a canteen vendor, so walang school, di ba? So walang work. So by that time, I also had different side hustle. Nagtututor ako ng mga bata, elementary kasi malapit kami sa elementary school. So maraming grade 5 and grade 6 na mga students na naghanap ng tutor that time kasi nga uh, nasa bahay lang, module-module. So, hindi na, wala namang teacher sa bahay. So, naghanap sila ng tutor. And also, that time, I remember na nagbebenta kami ng gulay. With my mom, nilalako namin around our barangay. So, that time, it was nice. I think, like, the parang bonding with family is still there. Kasi nga, pandemic, walang masyadong gala. So, nakakapag-bonding pa din from time to time. But the reality is wala talagang okay na income. So, by the time I decided to find work online, first na kinonsider ko is working as yung teacher, online teacher, kasi walang mic, walang magandang background, yung kwarto ko masyadong maingay for an ESL. Basta yung online teacher kasi face to face mo, 'di ba? Tas I only have a prepaid wifi. So hindi siya fit for that. And then na-meet ko yung VA freelancing, and then from VA nag take ng mga courses hanggang nakuha ko yung first client ko within like 1-2 months sa paghahanap nung career ko sa freelancing. So that time, it went well, very good. My first year, kasi nga, it's also my fourth year, maraming subjects na nilagay. I think 10 subjects. 10 subjects were for one sem kasi gusto nilang tapusin na yon for that school year, tapusin sa isang ano lang sem. Kasi next sem will be our internship. So yung internship, gusto nilang wala na kaming discussion doon. So like fully internship na lang. So, nilagay lahat ng remaining subjects sa isang sem. So, while nag-study ng 10 subjects sa accounting, also working 8 hours online. So that time, wala talagang rest masyado. Like 4 hours, 5 hours of rest every day. Wala nang social media. Hindi ko na alam kung ano nangyayari sa online kasi nga focus sa work. And then, okay naman, grind hustle na yung mindset na yung napasok sa utak ko. Hanggang graduate, and I think mga 1 year after I started freelancing, doon na ako nag-decide to shift with side projects. From a full-time, nagkaroon ng part-time, side projects. Like, that time SEO, di ba? SEO yung mainit, and SEO yung pinakamabilis ako nakakuha ng work as an SEO VA. So, dun nagsimula yung mga content writing tools, AI content writing tools, which is the first thing na ginamit ko is Jasper. Meron ba sa inyo pa-familiar ni Jasper dito? Jasper.ai? Sino meron ba? What did I do, coach? 'Di ba? Si Jasper AI, dun siya nag-boom around 2022. Siya yung aside from ChatGPT na kailangan mong conversation type, si Jasper kasi isang buong document talaga yung binibigay niya. Andun mo matutunan yung past or problem, agitate, solution ng mga framework, AIDA. So, yung mga framework na yun sa copywriting, dun mo makukunan. Madali lang siya. So, that time, meron akong background sa SEO, shift ako ng mga paunti-unting project article writing for $25, tas matatapos mo lang for like 3 to 4 hours. So, malaking ano na yun. Imagine $25, I'm charging sa hourly rate ng $3 to $4 per hour. Tapos $25 just for 3 4 hours na work. So mas okay siya sa akin. So since I have a tool, meron akong skills na pwede kong may offer. So nag-push ako sa Upwork, naganap ako ng mga project-based na mga article writing. And that time, nagkaroon ako ng 7 clients, sinabay-sabay, 7. So one is full-time, another one part-time, and the rest, yung 5, is all project-based. Now, okay lang siguro yan, coach, kasi project-based yan lahat eh. So, manage mo yung time mo. Well, totoo, manage mo yung time mo, pero still imagine, 5 clients, let's say for example, kailangan ng articles, kailangan mong gumawa ng 5 articles per day. So, still manageable pa din ba yun? By that time, nakuha ko yung goal. Nakuha ko yung goal by just like 1 year after my first start sa freelancing. Nakuha ko yung goal na 6 digit. But what happened next? You know, after I get the goal, pumasok sa, na, kino-compute mo na, di ba? Hindi pa dumadating yung, hindi pa dumadating yung income mo from Upwork, kino-compute mo na. Uy, umabot na ako ng 112, umabot na ako ng 120. Very, very happy ka nun. Kasi if you are comparing yourself sa mga nasa trabaho, like sa usual work dito sa Philippines, malaking bagay na yun, di ba? 6 digit, graduating ka pa lang, hindi ka pa nakaka-graduate. Hit mo na yung goal na yan, yung milestone na yan. So I'm very happy. Pero, yun nga, what happened after? Na-hospital. Bakit kina-hospital? Because walang tulog, walang pahinga, stress, and walang exercise. Dun ko na-experience na magkaroon ng asthma. So, never, hindi kami asthmatic. For me, hindi ako asthmatic. Active ako pagkabata, di ba? Magala, nagbabasketball, lumalabas, nakipaglaro sa ibang mga bata. Like growing up na I would say hindi naman kami mayaman, wala naman kaming ganun kalaking pera. Like nakakain kami 3 times a day pero that's it. Yun na yun. But hindi naman kami nagkakasakit ng ganun. Like, but when I'm doing it, na ako na yung nag-work, meron ng okay income, nagkakasakit ako. So, there's a sacrifice for the goal. And I think hindi naman siya kailangan ng sacrifice if I have those sets of correct attitude, correct na mga paraan kung paano ko in-achieve yung goal na yon. Yun nga, yung goal is not the problem. Pero the ways how you chase those goal is what become the problem. Right? So, it's also boils down with the mindset. Yan na, paulit-ulit, coach, bakit mo mindset, para na tayong ano dito. But this is reality, guys. It's really different if you are clear with your next step forward or gagawin mo lang yung goal na yun without the direction na basta merong pumasok, okay na ako dyan. Basta ano yung mangyari, okay lang. Basta ma-hit ko lang yung goal. Regardless kung wala na akong tulog. So, sa tingin mo, yun yung mas mabilis na approach para maabot yung goal na yun. But in reality, yun yung mas magpapatagal sa'yo na it would be unstable, it would be a reason why you feel burning out, while you feel you're not growing, you're just chasing something na hindi mo naman like nafu-fulfill sa sarili mo, 'di ba? So I'll check the chat. Marami ng ayan, pangbayad, oo. So yung na-income mo din, pangbayad mo din sa ospital. So it's very ano, nasasayang lang yung effort mo. Oh, narinig na din ako natutulog si coach kaya pinapatulog na tuloy ako. Oh, 'di ba? Walang tulog, importante may gising. Pasahod. Dati 5, grabe na may tataas pa na 7 clients sabay-sabay. Currently handling 6, grabe. Dumadaan sa 5 plus clients. So, you're not just a freelancer. Ito yung shift ng mindset natin. Why this is happening? Because we all wanted to chase that goal without a proper foundation kung paano natin gagawin yon. Especially with the mindset. Gusto natin ma-achieve natin yan as soon as possible without considering if our ways are practical, if our ways are sustainable for the next few months, for the next few years, if we are sacrificing too much para sa goal na yan, especially kapag katawan natin yung sinasacrifice. So, this is where we need to shift our mindset na you are not a freelancer, you are a business owner. And when we shift our thinking na hindi ka worker lang, hindi ka employee ng client mo, you are a partner that provides solution for your client. Therefore, you're not an employee, you are a business owner helping your client. 'Di ba? You're a business owner in your own way. Meron nga tayong tinatawag na sole proprietorship, 'di ba? Or ikaw lang yung sarili mo or yan solo na freelance, solo na business owner. So you're not just a freelancer, you are a business. So freelancer, most of us trade our time for trade our time. Business builders create value. So ano ba yung fino-focus dito? Why we it's not always good na we are trading our time, we are doing hourly base, especially kapag sobrang ano nung hourly base na meron pang time tracker, meron pang screenshot. Grabe yung mga bagay na yan. When I started getting more and more opportunities, yun na yung mga bagay na hindi ko nakukunin. Yung mga hourly base na nga, meron pang time tracker, meron pang screenshot, meron pang schedule ng work. So yung mga bagay na yun, yung hindi ko na kinukuha when I started getting more and more opportunities. So stop doing everything manually, you will never scale. So what means by this is, for example, sino na ba dito nakapag-try i-outsource? I-outsource yung mga task na kailangan nilang gawin sa clients nila. Sino na bang nakapag-try ng i-outsource? Ayan, si Florence, si Cha, si AR, si Vlad, si Limar, and si Carl. But what's the problem when you outsource? That's the problem when you outsource. 'Di ba by the end of the day ikaw din magche-check, ikaw din gagawa, ikaw din magko-complete quality of work, ikaw din magre-revise. So the idea is talaga bang nadi-decrease yung time mo working or just more effort yung ginagawa mo and then, 'di ba? So, what happened if this the case? So, that's also what I've learned sa GBI, which is also an eye-opener sa akin na you really need to create system for your business. Kaya nga, if you start shifting your freelancing career, not just a freelance career, but also a business, dun mo makikita na how does a sustainable business work? na pwede kong ma-adapt sa freelancing career ko. If I started hiring people, ano ba yung ginagawa ng isang business? You can create a model, for example, yung previous job mo, yung corporate job mo. Ano bang ginagawa when they hire people? People. Meron silang onboarding, meron silang training, meron silang system, mga SOPs. So yun din yung gusto mong gawin when you outsource it to other people. Kasi nga, we always think na kapag we always see the result without knowing the process of getting that result, 'di ba? And also, dito din papasok yung another key points na you are a business because you are not just delivering a task, you deliver outcomes. Now, etong bagay na to, especially if you are in go high level space for like 3 to 6 months, 3 to 6 months or more, mindset na lang to guys. Etong your don't just deliver tasks, deliver outcomes. Mindset na lang to. I'll explain later bakit mindset na lang to siya. Hindi na siya about skills. Now, the 10K mindset and offer alignment. So, sino dito, they have achieved 6 digit pero yung hourly rate nila is around 4, 5, 6, $7 per hour. Sino? 4, 5, 6. Already coach, ano na ako, nag um I already hit the 6 digit pero yung hourly rate ko $5 pa din, $6 pa din. 3 clients yun, puro full time. Ayun, grabe. Full time, 3 client, ano yan? Immortal ka ba? So, multo. So the number one mindset, hirap nun, grabe. Okay, tatagos ka na sis, pero wasak at the end of the month. So, yun nga, there's a good point after this slide na I'll explain why. Number one na gagawin natin to get the 10K mindset is saying no to low ballers. Why saying no to low ballers? Because, ayun, ito yung illustration niya. If you are closing doors for the opportunity na tingin mo still not worth with what you have right now, if you are closing doors with those low ballers, another door will open na andun yung opportunity na hinahanap mo. But if you will keep opening doors, even if nafe-feel mo na undervalued ka, dun yung time na talo ka talaga. Kasi we only have limited time, we only have limited resources na meron tayo. And if we keep opening doors sa mga bagay na nafe-feel nating undervalued tayo, then paano natin mamimit yung opportunity na feel natin, ay, ito, gustong-gusto ko to. Gustong-gusto kong gawin tong mga bagay na to. Gusto kong mag-work ng client na to. The dream client that we want, hindi natin yun mamimit if we are keep opening our doors to something na we just settling for less. Do you feel that, guys? Do you agree with that? Na if we keep opening our doors, we keep opening ourselves with low ballers offer, thinking na ito yung pinakamabilis na paraan para ma-hire ako. Ito yung pinakamabilis na paraan para makuha ko yung goal ko. Is something nakabaliktaran. Hindi yung pinakamabilis na paraan. Yun yung nagpapatagal sa'yo why you can't achieve this goal or why you can't maintain this goal or even more chasing a greater milestone pa from based on this ano. Pag preoccupied ka sa low bowlers, walang space para sa premium clients. That is very nice. That is true. Kaya sa inbound leads ko, coach, sinasabi ko na agad yung rate ko para alam ko yung low ballers. Ayan. Very nice. Dapat nasa 15 to 25 para mas achievable. How, ma'am? Ayan, i-explain natin mamaya from Ma'am Genevieve. Paano siya gagawin? Paano natin yan gagawin? So, Build recurring offers. Ito din importante to, like, if you are doing project-based, kailangan mo mag-build ng recurring offers, which is, I just recently realized na importante talaga to because there are clients na gusto nila yung gusto nila yung output pero ayaw nila ng maintenance. What I mean by that, for example, I am providing service ng creating an AI chatbot. Tapos yung client na yun sabi niya, kapag ma-set up na ba natin yung AI chatbot, okay na ba na kami-kami na lang yung mag-e-edit? Sabi ko, okay lang din naman. But if there are new offers, new products that you will add to your business, there would be an issue with the chatbot na makuha yung data na yon. So is it okay na mawala yung opportunity na yon because the chatbot knowledge base is not updated? Hindi siya mina-manage monthly? Now, kapag ganun yung tanong, ang sagot ng client is, hindi, mas okay na ma-update yung chatbot, but they're not willing to pay. So, by that time, kailangan mo ibigay sa kanila yung benefit na ito yung mangyayari kapag hindi natin to gagawin. Kasi kapag from we're always the yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes sir, hindi natin mako-communicate sa kanila yung mga struggles natin within na ang gagawin natin pag ganyan, pag yes ma'am, yes sir, kapag tinatanggap lang natin, tas patalikod, dun na tayo magrereklamo. So, magiging ano siya, magiging jar of like disappointments, jar of unsatisfaction na nag nag-iimbak doon hanggang sa umabot sa point na napuno ka na. Eh, doon na pumapasok yung burning out. Doon na pumapasok yung wala kang growth. Kasi always ka lang yes ma'am eh. Hindi ka nagbibigay ng reason why hindi siya nag-work, hindi ka nagko-communicate effectively to that client. So, yun yung mga nagiging problem na even for me, na-experience ko pa din from time to time. Pero I need to remind myself na this is why it's important. This is why kailangan mong ano sa kanya. Kasi our fear, if we will give parang no to a client, ang tingin kasi natin na baka hindi na tayo kunin for the next month. Baka i-end na yung contract sa atin. Baka tanggalin na tayo as one of their VAs or one of their expert specialist. But by the end of the day, ano ba yung mas importante? Yung work mo for that client or your sanity or your like your mental health, your peace? Ano ba mas importante nun? Now, by the end of the day, we always think na to be practical, but it doesn't have to be like that if you are exposed to opportunities. So, paano natin gagawin na magiging exposed tayo sa opportunities? Yun nga, you can start with your own funnel. That's why I'm very, very particular sa mga pumapasok sa mga trainees sa atin. Why it's number one goal talaga is to create your own portfolio. Kasi doon mo showcase yung skills and output mo sa mga clients. Doon mo maibebenta yung sarili mo. Doon mo ma-market yung sarili mo. If you have the samples, the results, and if you presented it well sa portfolio mo. And also, you need to package your value, not your time. So, and also, you need to be on the right market, on the right time, and also helping the right people. Kasi, we all thought na tanggap-tanggap lang tayo ng projects. Pero in reality is, hindi lahat ng clients ay para sa'yo at hindi ka rin para sa lahat. Do you agree with this? Na hindi lahat ng client kailangan mong bigyan ng services mo. At hindi rin lahat ng client na yon kailangan ka. You just need to be offering your services to the right people, to the right business owners who have certain problems na kaya mong bigyan ng solution. You doesn't have to close all of the interviews na meron ka. Kasi ito yung nangyayari, guys. Lalo na sa mga baguhan, hindi align not just the values but also their needs. Well, sobrang laking bagay ng values, which is I agree with that. So, ito yung nangyayari. Coach, bakit ako tatlong interview na, apat na interview na hindi pa ako nakukuha sa job? May mali ba sa akin? Meron bang mali sa'yo if you were hindi mo napasa or hindi ka nakuha sa limang interview? I would say no, walang mali sa'yo. Why? It boils down with marketing, with finding your right target market. For example, ito yung analogy niya, guys. It's also taught dun sa training namin. If I will be buying a shoe, na, bumibili ako ng sapatos. Tapos, yung gusto kong sapatos is a formal black shoe. Black shoes. Black shoe tuloy. So, a formal black shoes na yung matulis yung matulis yung nguso. Alam niyo ba yan? Yung formal black shoes na matulis ang nguso. So, gusto ko yung formal black shoes na matulis yung nguso. So, meron akong certainty na ito yung gusto ko, di ba? Now, pumunta ako sa pinakaunang kanto. Merong shoe store na andon. Yung shoe store, nagbebenta sila ng um, running shoes. Nagbebenta sila ng basketball shoes. If ako yung naghahanap ng sapatos, does it mean na itong business na to, itong nagbebenta ng running shoes, does it mean na or does it mean na pangit sila na business? Does it mean na yung business nila hindi maganda? Tingin nyo, pangit ba sila na business kapag yung hinahanap ko is formal shoes na mahaba yung nguso, tapos yung nakikita kong nagbebenta ng sapatos is running shoes yung binebenta niya? Does it mean na low quality sila na business? Hindi, di ba? My, but the things na gusto kong bilhin is not the right shoe na ino-offer nila. So, kapag lilipat ka naman, like punta ka sa kabilang kanto, eto naman, another, pupunta ka sa kabilang kanto, ay, nakita mo na, formal shoes for sale, black shoes for sale, uy, ayun na, black shoes na, pumasok ka na sa shop. Now, pagpasok mo sa shop, wala yung specific na gusto mong bilhin, yung matulis yung uso. So, does it mean pangit din yung business na yon? Unqualified din yung business na yon? Does it mean na yung business na yun walang quality yung mga products nila? It's still a no. That the same analogy kapag ikaw yung naghahanap ng client. Kapag si client number one nag-say no sa'yo, ni-reject ka, does it mean your low qualities, you're unskilled, go high level expert? Kapag si second client, nakapasok ka sa second interview pero sa final interview hindi ka na nakuha, does it mean like the other person is better than you? I would say hindi eh. You just need to be on the right be on the right client and also on the right time. Kasi nga, if ako yung naghahanap ng black shoes na matulis yung uso, hindi naman ako pupunta, hindi naman ako bibili sa running shoes na mga store. Hindi naman ako bibili sa Adidas, hindi naman ako bibili sa Nike. So pupunta ka dun sa mga nagbebenta ng ganong type of shoes. So, yun yung idea na it doesn't mean na nagre-reject ka, hindi na tama yung skills na meron ka. Hindi na tama yung assets na meron ka. It's just like na hindi ikaw fit sa business na yon. So it's also a shift in your mindset na it doesn't mean na kapag nare-reject ka during discovery call, kapag nare-reject ka during an interview, hindi ka na magaling na go high level expert. Hindi lang talaga fit yung offer skills mo for that client. So what we will do? Kailangan mong maghanap ng client na mag-fit ka. So you will never stop in talking with potential clients, talking with leads, promoting yourself, marketing, sales, dun ka magfo-focus. Also, give another percentage dun naman sa upskilling para mas marami ka pang tools na kaya, mas marami ka pang skills na kaya pang i-offer. Alright? Okay. So do you agree with that? Meron ba kayong takeaways? Doesn't mean I don't have the skills, doesn't mean na di ako expert. Ata to. Dapat tayo pala nagre-reject. Eto, dan tayo papasok. So, no, may target market sila kaya sa part mo, may preference ka in short, di kayo fit. Not the right product or market. Hindi po, di lang hinahanap. You're looking at the wrong. Tama coach, rate ko ngayon okay naman kaso I feel more pa dapat. Di ko palang alam gawin. True, clients are not aligned with, oh yeah. Alright, so, ito yung pwede natin gawin to get those goals without sacrificing our value, sacrificing the the things na tingin natin mas ito yung value ko eh. So dapat dapat ito yung kayang abutin ng isang client. Now, paano ba natin i-position yung sarili natin with those kind of para makuha natin yung dream clients na gusto natin, or we can work with people that we like. Diba? Importante yon. We want to work with people that we like. So paano siya pinapasok? Now, eto nga, environment, we need to be in a certain environment na normal na siya. Alright? Na normal na yung pag-offer ng $10 per hour, $15 per hour, $12 per hour. You'll be in the right environment na hindi mo na-feel na too much yung hinihingi mo. Kasi ang nangyayari dito, especially for other freelancing group online, kapag ipapakita mo sa kanila na meron kang $15 per hour na rate, sasabihin nila, ay, ang yabang mo naman. Ganito yung, well, depende sa context, pero most of them, magsasabi na, ay, okay na ako sa $6 per hour. Ano na yun eh, sobrang-sobra na yun. Okay na ako sa $7 per hour. Mag full time na lang ako ng tatlo. Mag full time na lang ako ng apat para ma-meet ko yung goal. Pero, pero yun nga, hindi naman siya like, is it really okay? Is it too much to ask for a higher standard? Is it too much na mag-charge ka ng $10 if someone is willing to pay for you to do it for them? Is it the standard or is it just our limiting beliefs? Is it something na tingin natin too much sa sarili natin because we just started 3 months ago pero the investment that we have for ourselves is sobrang laki na din? Or yun nga, I think this also boils down with the people that you're around with. Kasi kapag nakikita mo sa kanila na normal lang tong ganitong mga bagay, naa-adapt mo siya. What I mean about that is, if you are exposed with the people na nag-earn ng 6 digit or even more, like 6 digit, tapos not just the 100K, like 2, 300, dun mo makikita, ay, kaya naman pala yan. Hindi naman pala siya impossible na gawin. Hindi naman siya kailangan na tatlong full-time client. Hindi naman kailangan na 5 clients yung i-handle ko. Kailangan isa lang or dalawa lang. Or, dun ka sa environment na $3 lang yung nirate namin para mabilis lang kami makukuha ng clients. So, nag-handle kami ng 5, 6, 7 clients para mahit namin yung financial goal namin. So, it's very important kung anong environment ka na-expose. So, that's also why, eto guys, I'll give you my honest experience with this. Ito, basahin ko muna before I'll share. Stay with the like-minded with the same goal and mentality. If they can hit 25 USD per hour, for sure there's a way. Just have the right connection and skills. Ayan. Ang dami kong natutunan ngayon, paminsan-minsan kasi coach limiting belief din. Akala na hindi nila deserve or di nila kaya. Pag project-based, magkano sinisingil po pag gumagawa ng funnels for website. Ayan, yan yung gagawin natin next. For the next following days, create din tayo ng mga prompt, chat GPT na mga support. Lahat ng sobra masama, it's all about balance. Take care of your mental health and peace. Alright. So, now, Okay. So I'll share my experience with we're talking about the context of environment is equals to growth. No, we you all know batch 1 is we started batch 1 with just 500 pesos, no? 500 pesos registration and then sino ba? Ayun, si Limar, si Cha, andito mga batch 1. Si Ma'am Rose, Ma'am R, 500 pesos, di ba? Angas din. Present batch 1. So, grabe ano. So, no, the idea is batch 1, 500, batch 2, I think 1K, 1.5, batch 3, 2.5, 2K. Nakalimutan ko na, but the pricing is really low comparing the effort, the time that I need to do it, I need to work on it, 'di ba? So, by that time gusto ko lang ano lang ako like people pleaser. And to be honest, that's the bad attitude na build ko that time. I enjoy coaching, yun yung unconditional na ano dun. Pero when I started doing the training, I think naging too people pleasing ako na I want to give so much so much so much so much value for just a maliit na return. Now, hindi ko sinasabing mali yun, hindi ko sinasabing tama yun, but if I can do it again, siguro with all of the knowledge na meron ako ngayon, siguro I'll position myself with in a part na hindi ka lugi, tsaka mas marami kang pwedeng ibigay sa mga trainees. And by that time kasi, my idea, my thinking is, kapag hindi ganito kababa yung pricing ko, walang papasok na mga trainees. Kapag hindi ko siya below 1K, walang mag-e-enroll sa akin. So, with that, and also I'm exposed with other trainings na ganun din yung pricing nila. Maraming nag-e-enroll sa kanila, okay yung ano, but gusto kong mag-create ng advantage compared to this other courses. Kaya ginawa ko yung weekly call. Ginawa ko yung every twice a week na call. And imagine if that time like ang idea nun is I know that time I deserve more. Kaya paunti-unti in-increase ko yung value ng course. Which is, right now, umabot na nga siya ng 10K, di ba? So, if hindi yun nagiging possible, siguro kung hindi ako na-expose sa mga trainings na tinitake nyo din ngayon, na nagre-range ng 20K, 15K, 7K before, kung hindi ako na-expose sa ganong mga environment, na ganong mga training, siguro ang batch 11 natin, 3K pa din, 2K pa din. 'Di ba? So, wala namang masama doon because we are giving result to them, hindi naman to scam. But the idea is, if that's the same pricing na meron ako before, do I still get the resources na na-achieve ko for the last few weeks? Do I still get the chance to explain this discussion with you kung hindi ko inisip yung growth, kung hindi ako naghanap ng environment when I can grow my mindset, I can create more value with other people, I can give more value, I give more learning sa ibang tao as well as I am also compensated well. 'Di ba? Kasi ang nangyayari doon, we always think na kapag ikaw nagpataas ng presyo, kapag ikaw nag-offer ng $15, $20, masamang tao ka na, greedy ka na dun. But the reality is, if you are offering a $15 per hour, $20 per hour, can you realize what are the other courses na kaya mong i-upskill without parang hindi mo na wino-worry yung mga pricing ng mga course na yun kasi meron ka ng capabilities eh. Meron ka ng resources. So if I still charging all of the champs na pumapasok ng 2K per registration and then weekly calls, can I afford the GBI? Can I go to other countries to train and also to be exposed with this kind of network? Hindi ko magagawa lahat yun. And that's why also, yung mindset natin na if we are asking for more, we are already greedy. I think it doesn't set well. Because kung greedy ka talaga, even if we just $7 na rate, tapos kukunin mo lahat ng clients, and then hindi ka magbibigay ng magandang value to those clients, hindi mo sila tinutulungan, that's still greedy. But if you are charging $15 per hour, $25, $20 per hour, but you will provide solutions to their problem, ikaw yung nagiging go-to person nila, ikaw yung nagiging provider nila ng solution sa mga nangyayari sa business nila, do you still think that greedy pa din yun? If yung binibigay nila sa'yo na rate na bibigay mo naman sa kanila yung kailangan nilang help, greedy pa din ba yun? Kasi ganyan yung mindset paulit-ulit eh. Ganun yung mindset paulit-ulit na if we are charging 15, $20, ay sobra ka naman. Kami nga, go high level expert, $6 lang kami eh. Kailangan ko bang makipagtapatan sa rate mo kung ito yung tingin kong deserve ko? Do you think that's the idea, guys? Nagigets nyo ba yung ano natin, yung realization? Ito, that's my honest realization. I'm not saying na ito, but that's the honest realization. What you get, like the value that you get, and also the uh you know, nawala to. And self-value, deserve to increase it, coach. Sa daming training na na-join, mahal. Super best in training mo, coach. Ayun, thank you so much. Wow, next naman, maraming ano word of mouth. Meron na tayong ads. Usapang salapi pala to. Kaway-kaway, batch 10K. Soon, magiging 25, 18K, batch 11. 4-5, batch 8, free webinar ng 9 hours, 10K, batch 10. 4-5, batch 9. Di ba guys? Do you get why you need to increase your rate? Nagigets nyo na ba? Kung bakit kayo kailangan mag-increase ng rate ninyo? Do you get the same way, I also think na tama yung ginagawa kong pag-increase ng rate because the first reason is, yun nga, you will have the resources to learn more, to know more, to to expand yung knowledge mo about your expertise, especially sa JHL, di ba? Number two, yung time freedom na hinihingi mo, you need to offer more than two clients if 15K yung rate mo and your goal is 100K per month. Just like Master JC, pumasok, di ba? Do you think Master JC needs to offer full-time, part-time sa apat, limang clients if he is already charging $15 per hour? Hindi na, kahit isang client lang hit na niya yung 6 digit. So that's the goal. That's the goal, di ba? Na if we are given more resources, mas marami tayong time to expand our knowledge, mas marami tayong resources to buy new courses na pwede nating i-upskill, pwede nating matulungan pa yung client natin ngayon. Also, time for ourselves. Mas meron tayong time to enjoy yung pinaghirapan natin, di ba? Pinaghirapan natin, mas meron tayong time to spend with our family, with your kids, with our parents, with other people. So, yun nga yung idea nun eh, na if you're thinking na okay lang ma-offeran nung maliliit na rate because ayaw mo maging greedy, ayaw mo maging super mahal na expert, at then by the end of the day, you will sacrifice yourself kasi meron ka ding sarili mong goal, di ba? So, that's the idea. And let's go back to our environment. Ito yung I highly suggest I would say what's given me the growth for the past few months na mabilis talaga siya. It's not to brag or anything. This is the realization, this is a self-awareness na nakikita ko na I can also share. Kasi pwede akong magsabi sa inyo na ganito, ganyan, kasi hindi pala nangyayari sa akin, di ba? But this is transparency. Na why I think the growth for me is very fast na for the past the past 4 years at ganito yung na-experience kong growth because I'm always looking for it. Yan yung number one. Kapag meron akong nakikita na parang naboboring na ako sa mga nangyayari, I'm always looking for a new challenge. I'm always looking for a new milestone. And by that, with the growth na nakukuha ko, the money also follows. Why is that? Kasi nga, eto din yung naririnig natin from like successful people na money follows those certain people na deserve itong pera na to. Money is a reflection of who you are. So if you have the poor mindset, the mindset na I can deliver it all for you, ganyan-ganyan, pleasing everyone, ganun din yung money na may bibigay sa'yo. You also considered as someone na, ay, okay na or see someone na settling for less. Especially if you are keep saying yes and yes and yes to their offer, to their request. You will be considered as someone na, ay, okay na sa kanya pag ganito, ganyan. You will not be considered as someone na kailangan ko tong habulin. Kasi ito yung mapoprovide niya. So, it means na if you are consistently growing, you have new learnings every now and then, you have new experience every now and then, your mindset shift, your mindset grows, you are exposed to a lot of opportunities, a lot of people na kayang na binibigyan ka ng insights, binibigyan ka ng opportunities. That's the time na paunti-unti na your environment also influence your earnings, your money, your finances. So what I suggest for you all is to join if meron kayong makikita malapit sa inyo, online or anything na can help you build your business mindset, personal mindset or business development, personal development, financial developments, networkings and also mga meetups. Kasi if you are not exposed with this kind of developments and mali pa spelling, if you are not exposed of this kind of events, you will be stuck in a room na hindi mo nakikita yung mga bagay na nakikita ng iba. Do you get that point? Do you agree with that? Doon sa mga sumali nung AI event natin, merong mga nakikita yung ibang champs, yung ibang tao, hindi lang sa champs, yung ibang freelancers, yung ibang business owners na mga opportunity na hindi mo makikita unless umabas ka dun sa kwarto mo. Lumabas ka dun sa bahay mo. Mag-meet ka ng ibang tao, learn from them, talk with them, be friend with them, connect with them. Hindi mo makikita yung opportunity na to unless you will out of your comfort shell and expose yourself with people, with the environment na makakapag-build ng mindset opportunities for you or for yourself, di ba? Do you agree with that? Do you agree ba sa mga bagay? Dahil sa AI Breakthrough nakilala ko si Cheryl, ayan o, mag-best friend na. Nag-refer ako from Champs kasi kayang Jane job opportunity. $30 per hour claim. Nag-tempt ako mag-accept ng offer master. Ayokong mas stagnant ang learning lalo na about ayun, continuous growth. Do you agree with that, guys? Nafe-feel nyo ba yon? Na if you are just on your comfort of your home, parang from time to time, kailangan mong tapikin na, uy, parang nagiging kampante ka na masyado ah. Parang you're stuck with your own comfort na yung learnings and growth na hinahanap mo when you are start working online, when you are feel the best person that you are kasi marami kang natututunan, hindi mo na siya na-feel. Kaya doon papasok yung paulit-ulit na mga tasks and then from that paulit-ulit na task, nagkakaroon ng burnout. Kasi you're always doing the same thing every day. Wala nang bago. Wala ka nang bagong natutunan. Hindi na umiikot yung imagination mo, yung creativity mo. Eto guys, siguro hindi nyo pa nakikita ngayon, but just try the first meet up na makikita o mai-encounter kayo. First personal development, coaching, or event na ma-encounter ninyo. First business event na ma-encounter ninyo. Just join. If it's 2K, 1K, 3K lang, hindi siya ganun kabigat, itry nyo, sumali kayo, and then be there. Be there, show up, and tignan nyo yung sarili ninyo before and after you join that event. Kasi, for me kasi, especially for me na from Davao at dito sa South, there are a lot of events naman nangyayari. But I would say it's still different if the event is something na ano siya ba, parang the next level. Kumbaga, the next level. For example, yung mga events na nire-refer. Example, meron kang kilalang agency owner. Tanungin mo yung agency owner na kakilala mo, what are the courses na tinake mo before na nakaabot ka sa posisyon mo ngayon? Or what are the seminars na nag-register na i-recommend mo para sa akin? Kasi doon ko na-meet yung mga previous trainings na nasalihan ko, which is even mahal sila, sobrang mahal nila, but the values na binigay, the clarity, the next step forward, sobrang hindi mababayaran. Ang idea nun kasi parang shortcut mo yung sarili mo na ito yung goal. Kung wala tong training na to, makukuha ko tong goal na to for the next 5 years. Pero dumating yung training na to, kaya ko tong kunin for the next year, for this year. Parang ganong mindset na mas nagiging klaro yung next step mo na hindi ka pupunta sa ibang direksyon kasi mas binigyan kanila ng idea kung ito yung susundin natin, ito yung gagawin mo based on their experience as well. Kasi parang sila yung present self mo 5 years ago. Bale, ito yung ginawa nila before na nag-work sa kanila na pwede mo ding gawin sa sarili mo. Alright? So, it doesn't mean na nag-work sa nila, mag-work din sa'yo, but the framework, ano yung steps na ginawa nila? The checklist, ano yung step na ginawa nila? You can adapt. You can adapt, you can create your own process, you can create your own ways naman. But the idea is, you have what we call the models. Meron kang masusundan ba na, ay, ito yung ginawa ni, like, ni Mac, nung ano namin, nung speaker. Yan yung ginawa ni Penjun. Itong ginawa ni Daniel Paul. So, itong mga tao na to successful na sa field nila, sa digital marketing eh. So, somehow, itong binibigay nila na roadmap, itong binibigay nila na value, can also be my tool para hindi ko na ma-encounter yung mga problems, yung mga na-encounter nilang issues before. Para mas maging madali sa akin kasi binilagyan nila ako ng framework nila. So, yun yung makukuha mo when you start learning more from other people, you start exposing yourself with people na on a certain level na gusto mo ding maabot. And even if hindi, just need to connect with other people pero meron kang masabihan with your thoughts, with your struggles. So, regardless, I think going out and meeting other freelancers, business owners, digital marketers, still a win-win talaga. risk involved unless you are in the wrong type of group, siguro na puro anuhan lang. But if you are on those type of community na they're always looking for one another or sharing tips inside, they're like they are always looking for growth. Yun yung magandang salihan ng mga communities. And I would say JHL Champs and proudly naman siguro one of those type of communities. Ayan. So, next is stay around winners and not doubters. Kasi ito din guys, the champion mindset, why we have the let's keep winning slogan. The champion mindset, meron kasing dalawang type of people, especially kapag kapag nasa training, kapag binigyan mo ng opportunity, etong dalawang tao na to, ito yung magiging mindset nila. Ito yung magiging reaction nila. Kapag binigyan ka ng opportunity, of course, hindi naman yun ilalatag sa'yo lahat, di ba? There's also things that you need to figure it out. So, ang loser mindset or a doubters, they will always think for the risk involved, for the things that will not work out, for the things na, ay, ganito kasi, ay, ganito kasi. They will always think for a reason na hindi to mag-work. But with a champion, but with a winner mindset, they always think for a reason kung paano natin to mai-work. They always adjust, they always look for more information para paano to gagana. Those type of people, ikaw na bahala pumili kung saan ka doon. The one who's looking for reason na hindi to gagana, or the one who will keep on working on it, keep on getting more knowledge para gagana tong bagay na to. Especially kapag meron ka ng resulta, like, ito yung goal. Goal natin magka 10K per month. Meron na nakagawa, someone from the same program that you have. Tapos, ang iisipin mo, ay, hindi yan gagana sa akin kasi ganito, ganyan eh. Wala kasi akong time, wala kasi akong ano, meron kasi akong full-time job. Of course, di naman, yun nga, meron kang ganyan mga bagay. So, do you put reasons for that situation, or you find ways para abutin yon yung goal na yon? So that's two things na kailangan mo i-consider. Are you the champion? Are you the JHL champs? Or the loser? Or the doubter? Kailangan mong i-identify yung sarili mo na are you the person that's willing to figure it out, to do it your own way, to get all of the resources you need, use it as your advantage, create your own process, create your own like gagamitin mo siya to achieve the goal, or you're the person na meron na ngang lahat ng resources, still looking for something na hindi to mag-work kasi ganto ganyan, I have this, I have that. So, it's up to you to decide kung ano yung pipiliin mo doon. So, next is invest in yourself. What you got here won't get you to six-digit figures. So, yun nga. Kailangan mo din i-invest yung sarili mo. Invest sa sarili mo. Yun yung most of the time I am prioritizing for this year, na every recommended program na makita ko, especially recommended from someone na achieve na itong certain milestone na gusto kong ma-achieve, is hindi ko talaga siya papakawalan. And eto nga, just to share, 'di ba galing kami sa training. Bukas meron din kaming training. Meron din kami another face-to-face training. Pero dito lang sa Davao. So, madali lang siya. But that one is more of a leadership training siya. So, unending upscaling, unending training to sa amin for us to be more equipped once we would like to scale, we would like to hire more people, handle more people sa business. Kaya that's what we wanted, na fully equipped kami with all of the knowledge, with all of this people na mini-mentor kami. So, yan yung goal talaga namin na, ayan, mas na if the champion mindset, we're trying to um, think for solutions, how we can achieve or how we can get success. Ganon. The network, new clients, new opportunity, and new mindsets. Ito lang, a very good example. I get to join the previous training that I have, the GBI, and then I meet a lot of people na gives me clarity kung ano dapat yung ino-offer ko sa JHL Champs, sa SAS, sa agency. So they give me clarity na bro, ganito yung nangyayari kasi. Ito yung um, proper funneling nung program mo. This is what the reason why meron mga unsatisfied na mga trainees. Ito yung mga reason bakit hindi right yung presentation mo for this type of audience. Ito yung mga reason bakit uh, you can yeah, you can earn more from the program na without sacrificing the value that you can give. Without being the scammer, di ba? Ito yung mga ginawa nila na hindi mo dapat gagawin. So with those kind of insights na nare-receive ko, right now, I would say, in terms of the funneling ng Go High Level Trust, which I will also discuss more about proper funneling na natutunan namin sa training as well as this person na sinasabi ko. Doon ko nakikita yung clarity na, uy, tama nga, no? Ito pala dapat ko gagawin. And those type of people, hindi mo mamimit yon unless na nag-show up ka dun sa event na yon, nag-register ka sa event na yon. Kaya it's also important that to build your network because as we all know, your network is your net worth. That's the right ano talaga na kapag na-expose ka sa mga taong ganito yung na-achieve, ganito yung milestone nila, mas nakikita mo na ay hindi naman pala sila super extraordinary. They're still the same person na katulad ko, pero they have more knowledge, they are more exposed with opportunities, they have this number of contacts, number of people that in their network na nakapagbibigay sa kanila ng guidance, opportunities, mentorship na hindi ko nakukuha. But in reality mas magaling ba sila sa iyo? Mas magaling ba sila sa iyo or is that is that mas exposed sila compared sa iyo? If ako kapag nakikita ko yung kino-compare ko yung sarili ko with sa iba, I would say hindi naman nagkakalayo. They are just more exposed with the knowledge, they're more exposed with the trainings, they're more exposed with the people na tinulungan din sila to get there. And by the nature of growth, by the nature of success, hindi talaga maiiwasan yung learning, adapting, and also sharing. Kaya doon din yung ginagawa ko. Kasi doon ako mas nakaka, na ano eh, mas nako-consume ko yung learning kapag sinishare ko sa iba. That's also the same process why they are also sharing it with me. Kasi that's nature, 'di ba? Kasi binibigyan ka, ikaw din nagbibigay sa iba. Yan yung cycle na mas okay na. So that's my thought process. So, this is also I hope you get this na your income grows as your circle and mindset expand. Sino ba dito na apektuhan ng other champs? Coach, nag-charge ako ng $8 kasi nakita ko si Master JC na nag-charge ng ganitong dollar. Coach, si Ma'am Rose kasi ganito na yung charge niya, tinry ko din. Nakuha ko naman. Hindi ko, parang mga ganong idea na nakita mong example sa community and then you also tried and then you succeed. You thought na hindi siya mag-work pero when you tried it, hindi naman talaga siya imposible. Sino dito nakapag-try na ng ganon? Sino dito yung ganon yung experience? You conference, yes bro, AR, andun ka ba? Punta ka ba bukas? Charing. Sino naka-experience? Can you share your experience with that na sino yung nakita ninyo sa community or sino nag-share sa inyo nung nung opportunity na galing sa community natin, nakuha ninyo, nagkaroon kayo ng idea na ganito pala dapat. Sino diyan? and si Mi, si Blanca. All right, I'll read your stories. I'll read your chat later. Proceed muna ako sa next slide. All right? So, eto, start acting like champ you want to become. So, you didn't start this journey to settle. Eto guys, lagay ito sa background nyo. Lagay nyo to sa, meron ba kayo yung parang board na parang goal board na nilalagay sa ano? You didn't start this journey to settle. Hindi ka nag-freelancing, hindi ka umalis sa 9 to 5 job mo, hindi ka uh, umalis sa previous work mo just to settle for a job na inuubos yung kaluluwa mo, di ba? Hindi ka umalis sa previous job mo, hindi ka nag-look for better opportunities if you will just keep working 24/7. Hindi ka nag-start ng journey ng freelancing, hindi mo na-risk yung possibility ng unstable job just to settle for less. Just to settle for a work na hindi ka happy kasi hindi ka nag-grow, hindi mo feel na valued ka, tingin mo mas meron ka pang like yung worth mo is mas malaki pa. So hindi ka nag-start ng journey, hindi ka nag-invest sa sarili mo just to settle for less. Alright? So always put this in your mind na you also need to scale, you also need to level up, not just for the money but also for yourself. For the growth na gusto mong ma-achieve, for the milestone na gusto mong makuha. Ayan. You need to build systems, which is we will discuss in the next following days paano natin gagawin tong system because we also have another training program for this, yung building system na in-upsell din namin ni Aimee. So mahal din yung ano namin. Ito you guys yung if you know Peng Jun, the wife of Peng Jun is the operation manager of the entire business ni Peng Jun. Peng Jun is already a multi-millionaire digital marketing expert ba icon is top comparing to other like example sa ClickFunnels he's one of the most awarded na marketer sa ClickFunnels. So the operation manager doon is her wife and merong binentang training yung wife na niya about system and operation which we also get for 60K. Yun yung 60K na uh, in-upsell and then in-avail din namin. Because yun nga, we want to make sure na guided kami in terms of building system, SOP, operation for our business. For us to grow, for us to scale na hindi mahirap, hindi kami masyadong like question mark lahat ba na hindi namin alam kung ano yung gagawin. I also bought another course, medyo mas mahal yun, mga 110. Ano naman yun? LinkedIn growth. So how you can grow your LinkedIn profile, how can you get high how you can get leads with much higher purchase power. Kasi 'di ba, ang problema natin is if we are offering premium skills or premium services, paano natin makukuha yung mga tao na willing to pay for that premium price? So, yun yung tinuturo dun sa LinkedIn growth using AI, which is I can also use that same framework. We can develop at we can improve it. We can, kasi okay lang sa kanya eh. So, napag-usapan naman namin. So, okay daw sa kanya. And also adapt that for the AI breakthrough na mga discussion. So, ayan. So, I would say, since I've learned a lot from the training that I had, siguro yung AI breakthrough na yan, because we already started sa Manila and then we are planning to do it somewhere around, depende pa, nag-iisip pa kami kung ano yung next na magandang venue. Pero I would say, meron akong money back guarantee sa AI breakthrough. Kung hindi nyo gusto yung nagustuhan yung course na yun, bibigay sa inyo lahat nung na-register niyo naman. Sobrang dami kong learnings na doon and then when I realize about it, hindi naman talaga siya mahirap gawin eh. Hindi lang ako aware before na pwede pala siyang gamitin in this certain way. So kaya right now na aware na ako, I would say mas marami na akong pwedeng maibigay na value sa event na yan. And I would say look forward for that event. I'll make sure na it would be a game changer event, especially dun sa mga magjo-join ng live. Alright? So yung first AI breakthrough natin, ano pa lang yun, pahapyaw pa lang yun. No worries guys, for Manila, mag-ano tayo, mag-create tayo ng another AI breakthrough event soon na fully ano talaga, fully packed. I mean, the value is fully packed, the learnings that you can get mas marami at mas marami pa. Right? So, ayan, build your system, ayan, surround yourself with growth, show up for your goals. If you if mas na-appreciate ko ngayon yung slogan natin na let's keep winning kasi doon mo makikita yung stacking of positive energy sa goal mo. What I mean about that is if you show up, meron kang makukuhang learnings, di ba? Like if you show up to the first day, meron kang learnings na makukuha. If you show up to the second day, meron kang learnings na makukuha. Now, if you do it on your own, yung mga portfolio, sample works, challenges, meron ka ding learnings na makukuha na if you keep thinking na this is a win, regardless kung gaano siya liit or laking bagay, mag-stuck yun, mag-stuck into your mindset, thinking na I'm always looking for a win today. Kaya ano ba yung pwede kong gawin? Now, if ang iniisip mo ay eto pa lang yung nagagawa ko si ano, natapos niya na. Eto pa lang yung uh, naka batchmate ko si ganito tapos nagkaroon na siya ng client, ako wala pa. So if you are keep thinking, comparing yourself with other people and then hindi mo ini-stack yung small win sa utak mo, hindi mo ina-appreciate yung sarili mo kasi meron kang ginawa na hindi mo nagawa kahapon. Meron kang na-improve, meron kang 1% improvement sa sarili mo today na hindi mo naibigay or hindi mo nagawa for the past few days. So kapag hindi mo ini-stack yung small wins mo, hindi mo siya ina-appreciate, dun mo makikita yung kino-compare mo na yung sarili mo sa iba in a way na nadidegrade yung nadidemotivate ka kasi you're always comparing with other people, with other batchmates, with other champs na ganito na yung na-achieve nila. You're not focusing on what you can do, what you can improve right now, what win you can do today, what win you can do in the next 2 hours para maabot mo yung goal mo. We are always looking for the result without without doing the work. Kasi kung yung result lang yung gusto nating makuha, swerte mo naman. Wala kang ginagawa, tas result lang yung gusto mong makuha. But if we are focusing with the steps that we can do day by day, stacking small wins from time to time, mas magiging madali yung result na gusto nating maabot. And that's why mas right now mas na-appreciate ko yung slogan natin na let's keep winning. It doesn't have to be a super significant win. It doesn't have to be a super dapat client ano na yun, dapat 6-digit win na yun. Hindi siya dapat ganoon. It's just even with just showing up into this call, listening for the entire like 1 to 2 hours, taking notes, also applying it, like shifting it, creating, like example, kapag meron kang nakitang mga courses, you will also upskill, doing something na hindi mo nagawa before, that is already a win. We just shift of efforts, just the more effort na binibigay mo, the uh, like the things na ginagawa mo before na hindi mo I mean the things na hindi mo ginagawa before na ginagawa mo na ngayon, those are already a win. So stack wins from day to day. Gawa ka ng mga goals like milestone mo for today. Ano ba yung dapat kong matapos ngayon? And then, ayun, stack mo yung wins. And then such times na yung maliliit na mga wins mo, makikita mo na yung sarili mo na sobrang layo na pala yung naabot mo. Sobrang ano na pala, like sumakses ka na, di ba? Step by the step. So, that's it. Ano, naubusan na ako ng, naubusan na ako ng thoughts. So, by the end of this call, ayan, this will be our mantra for the next months. Okay? Let's start, let's stop surviving. So yung effort natin na, coach, okay lang sa akin yung $3 kasi ano naman ang okay basta meron lang akong ma-share na uh, sa family, mapakain ko lang yung anak ko na ganito, ma-share ko lang sa parents ko yung ganito, makapag ano lang ako makapag bigay sa budget or okay. So if we will just keep on using that same excuse every now and then, so kailan ka mag-iisip ng bagay that will improve your financial, that will improve your health, that will improve your lifestyle somehow, that can improve your overall self if you will just settle for less. If you will not put yourself in a situation na there's a possibility for growth, not just in your wallet, not just with your mind, but your entirety, but yourself as a whole. So kailan mo iisipin yon? Kapag yung opportunity ngayon wala na? Kapag ba the people that you value a lot, knock on woods, hindi mo nakasama? Is it the time na kapag nakikita mo na yung disadvantage, yung mga ginagawa mo ngayong maling mga bagay, like you don't have a proper rest. So, what if may masamang mangyari? What if ma-hospital? And if you are that one person na inaasahan sa pamilya, then nasa hospital ka for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, paano na yun if you are just settling for less? If you are just surviving, paano magsusurvive? So what I'm telling is, when should we start thinking to improve our finances, to improve our skills, to improve ourselves? Kailan natin yun iisipin? Kapag nafe-feel na ba natin yung mga hindi natin, nafe-feel na ba natin yung uh, mga bagay na nagpapasama dun sa mga bad practices natin or dun lang tayo gagawa ng paraan, dun lang tayo magre-react once meron ng hindi magandang nangyayari. So, siguro that's the point of this discussion na kailan ba tayo mag-start na mag-scale? When should we start to scale our freelancing career, our go high level career? Is it sa susunod na lang or is it right now na mas nabigyan ka ng mas meron kang clarity on what to prioritize, what to do, right? So, I hope meron kayong nakuha somehow. Just created this slide for like for the past few minutes. And and hopefully it's still it's still valuable. I'm sure a lot of you guys are already on that certain milestone. But yun nga, if you are that already, if you're on the 100K milestone, I highly suggest to challenge yourself for more. Kasi doon mo talaga makikita yung growth eh. Yun doon mo makikita on how would you like play the game. Parang playing the playing the game of life na you're not stagnant sa isang sa isang milestone lang, sa isang goal lang. You're always chasing for for more milestone. And I think it doesn't mean na you're greedy. it doesn't mean na masyado kang masyado kang greedy because that's the always limiting belief eh. Like for example, if my goal for this month is 100K and then na-achieve ko na yun for the last 3 months and then yung next goal ko is 200, does it mean I'm being greedy? The short answer for me is hindi. Because if greedy ka talaga, regardless kung hindi mo na-achieve yung 100K or ma-achieve yung 200K, that's your own ways, di ba? Kasi yun na yung paraan mo eh. It like money just give you more reason paano maging greedy. So kung ikaw innate na greedy ka talaga, so regardless of how much you earn, magiging greedy ka talaga. But if you are doing it for a certain purpose, if you are doing it for um for the idea na gusto mong magbigay pa ng so much value to others and also you want to receive a lot of benefits from that value that you give, yun yung makukuha mo din, di ba? For stability. Ayan. So, let's stop surviving and let's start scaling.